Hi, I'm Trey Owens. You're watching Third and Longhorn, and be sure to like and subscribe. Look 'em.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Third and Longhorn. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Trey Owens. Trey, thank you so much. Welcome, man.
Welcome.
We always start these off the same way, and it's a how did you get to Texas? And I know you were heavily recruited out of Cy-Fair. So
where's Cy-Fair
at? Houston.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. Just make
That's all I got. You've exhausted my knowledge, but why? You know, obviously you got recruited by a lot of places. Why Texas?
For me, they every single time I went up to Austin, it just like, even when I wasn't offered, because for a while I didn't get offered. Like I came up in like the spring, kept watching spring practice, but I think they were heavily recruiting another kid, and then just kept going to games, kept bettering my relationship, going to practices, doing whatever I could to get up here and trying to earn my chance. And then I played well my junior year, had good stats. I was playing really, really good against good competition. And then Milwee was able to come to one of my games, and I played really well. And that following week, I ended up getting the offer. And then obviously immediately that was already probably my top school. I was still, obviously we're going to different schools, seeing what fit me better. And then January, I had to talk with my family. I was like, I don't really know why I have to wait. Like, I'm not really chasing anything else. It's kind of where I want to be. It's close. It's far enough away from home, but it's also close to home because I don't want to be like right in my parents' backyard. I want to branch out a little bit, but it feel like it fit me perfect. And the offense that Sark runs and how they all just treated me and my family, it was just excellent. And I didn't really feel like I had a reason to wait.
So you knew it was Texas from the beginning then? Sounds like.
For the like I was getting recruited by like decent schools and stuff, but like once I got a voicemail, and I didn't even have the number saved, and Miller's like, "Hey, it's Coach Miller, University of Texas." I was like going up there. I didn't even have his number or nothing. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bigger than whatever I had received at the time. But no, it was just the treatment and just how they always treated me. Like they always treated me like I was already committed and all that, even though I wasn't for a while. But it was always just, it was awesome, the treatment and everything.
What other visits did you go on?
I went to Baylor a lot. That was my biggest school before Texas.
Yeah.
I went to Tech once, but then they got to commit soon after. One of my buddies, Will Hammond, at a Hutto. Very, very good kid.
Yeah.
U of H, Rice was probably my earliest school that I traveled to. I had a good relationship with their coach. I had a really, really good relationship with the U of H coach, but he left.
Yeah.
Coach Dawson. I think I never traveled out of state for anything.
You knew you wanted to be
Texas.
Kind of.
Not even that. I just didn't really get any looks from any out-of-state schools.
That's crazy.
My only out-of-state school, I think, was Tulsa and UConn.
Thinking about how you tore it up, I'm like,
right. Yeah, if you go back to his senior year, unbelievable. And obviously that was just last semester. Considering that you graduated early. Yeah. Tell me about that process, right? Been on campus now. You're going on month number 4, right? Since you came in January. What does that transition process look like for you? Jay and I actually went through the same thing that you did, graduating early, getting accustomed and acclimated. But how does it fit you and where you're at in your progression right now?
In the beginning, it was just like I didn't really know what to do. Like, I mean, I was used to getting up at 7, going to class, kind of doing whatever I wanted, blow off classes, like just get to the end of the semester, get to college.
I know that was a wake-up call.
Yeah, but it was easy. I mean, and then obviously 6 a.m. lifts, workouts, running, the class at noon. It was just back to back. I'm like, shoot, and I think the biggest thing that had to change for me was my routine. Like that was easily the most important thing, like setting 6 or 7 alarms, because I'm not going to be late. I'm not getting that punishment. I've seen what some of those guys have had to do. I don't want to be a part of that at all.
Smart. Smart man.
And I think the classes aren't like that much harder than high school. It's just, there's just a lot of work that goes into it. So if I can stay on top of that, we get help from tutors and academic advisors, so they help me stay on top of that. And it's been a lot, but I think I'm finally getting used to what it really takes to kind of do your thing here.
Has it been, like, obviously, like the time management part sounds like it was an adjustment, but outside of the academic side, which I'm glad it sounds like it's been pretty easy, right? You want our quarterbacks to be smart.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
what has been one of the bigger, I guess, adjustments from just strictly ball to this point?
The playbook is out of this world.
And you got a mastermind over there too,
Yeah,
so I imagine it's
a lot more at the quarterback position because you have to know what literally everyone on the field is doing. Like you have to know if, like, on pass protections, if certain guys come, I need to flip the protection and know where I'm hot off of, and I obviously have to know there are different routes where receivers can run multiple different routes. I have to notice the coverage, and then it's a lot. It's a big change from high school where obviously we call playing both sides are mirrored, and I can just throw it up to the best guy. It's not that hard.
I've always said that.
I mean, it's just and you have to study or else you just won't get used to it. And I think early on that was difficult for me because I would go to install with midweek, get it all down. I feel like I had a good grasp on it, and I would study it at night. I'd come back the next day and go to practice or like walkthroughs or something. I'm like, what's that signal again?
Yeah.
Shoot. Yeah. And also big help with that is the mics that we got in our helmets now.
Yeah.
So if I'm confused on a signal, same, I was like, okay, I got it. That's easy. That's not bad. Yeah. And then I'll have it down for next time. But early this week, my mic out of all of them went down, and I'm the youngest guy, so I'm sitting here with signals again. I had one mishap where I'm like, I don't know what the signal is. I'm just gonna hand the ball off. It was like an advantage throw.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Trey, listen to me. In most situations, if you don't know what to do, just give it to the back.
Yeah,
he'll get it figured out.
Normally, most people who get interviewed have the luxury of having a little bit of balance because we have some defensive guys in here. But today, you're on the offensive side of the ball, so you're in good company. But you're just going to hear about running backs the entire time. So get ready.
I'm just saying, everybody knows, a great running back is a quarterback's best friend.
That's true. That is true.
That is well stated.
And probably the biggest thing on the field that had to change for me was check downs with the running back. I'm serious.
Taking it.
No,
just taking it.
Yeah.
Because there are certain times where I'm like trying to force stuff downfield, and I look, and Millie's just like pointing outside to the running back.
Yeah.
He's out in the flat sitting, going on.
And you got to think a lot of times too, the defense, especially depending on all right, if it's zone or man, right? A lot of times the zone is set up to hey, we need to keep eyes in front depending on down or distance. We'll give you that.
Yeah.
And then coach is probably telling you, we trust our guy.
Yeah.
We know that they want to get at to us. We'll take it because our guy will win that matchup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just a learning.
I would have be 3rd and 7, and I'm like, well, I don't want to throw it to the running back. He's 3 yards downfield. It's like, oh, that's your read. Who doesn't say they don't go score? That's up to them. They're there to make the plays.
Exactly.
Just get the ball to them.
Hey, they on scholarship too, right?
Absolutely.
You got to make that. Hey. Yeah. Now, I've heard you mention Coach Milwee several times unprompted, right? So I want to dive a little bit into the relationship that you have with him. And what is it like being, in the classroom with them while they're installing, install one? What is it like hearing from him, hearing from Sark? How are you processing that? How do you take notes? Because as a quarterback, I'm sure your note-taking skills have to be extensive and on point for you to understand and get it. But explain that deep dive process of what it's been like with AJ, Coach Milwee, and Coach Sark, and getting that all under wraps.
It's been a huge help. He's still a student of the game. He just obviously got promoted to co-OC. Yeah. He went through the same process as me. Whenever Sark got the job at Alabama, he got brought on, and he had to learn the whole playbook too. Mm-hmm. So sometimes he'll show me his notebook that he had, and it's just plays after plays after plays after plays, and it's just having to get it down. But I got a full normal college notebook, and it's already almost full with stuff. So
4 months in.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you look very excited about it.
It's a lot, but I'm glad that I have all that I can use.
Yeah.
So
resources.
Yeah, it's crazy what certain what certain plays go in certain coverages and situations. It's a lot to know, and I'm glad that I have such a experienced and good coach. He was the youngest OC. Mm-hmm. I forget where he was at, Akron or something like that. He was 30 and he was an OC at a Division I college.
They don't get that away.
No, right. This is very smart coach. I'm glad that I have him there for if I have questions to ask, and he's usually the coach running my field. So if I ever have a question or anything, I just go and ask him, and he knows the answer every time.
That's awesome. I think Fozzy stole the one I really wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Coach Milwee, but I also wanted to dive in on, you read it everywhere, you hear it everywhere. It's just accepted that Sark is an offensive genius, right? Where like it's almost like just an accepted thing out there.
Right.
But what is it about it, as someone who gets to work closely with him? What is it that's different about him? What is the genius? Like, what have you seen just in your time here? Like, how is he different than what you know?
He's obsessed with the game. Like, that's one of our first meetings was like I'm not gonna use the words he did, obviously. But he wants to win so bad, and he wants us to feel the same way. Like, you're not gonna win if I'm not obsessed with the game, because like I'm not gonna care as much. And he says it his way, and like he's a huge offensive brain. He obviously knows defense. You have to know defense, and like he's very, very hard on everybody. Like on routes on air and stuff. If we miss passes, we're getting yelled at. Receivers drop passes, we're getting yelled at. Like, it's just, he's hard on us. He's very hard on us. So he wants nothing but the best for us, and he wants us to win and do our thing and have fun doing it. And obviously, like, he wants us to be a very, very close-knit team and be like a family. So that way, like, we play for each other and kind of do our thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's a part of it, right? Where like, even as you, like the first thing you said was he's obsessed with the game. That's not into like play design. That has nothing to do with what he's learned and who he's picked up from. That has nothing to do with working with Saban. Being obsessed with the game is just it's a decision, right? And I think that you see that kind of correlate any sport, any industry,
right? Yep.
And you talk about Kobe, you talk about MJ, you talk about Bill Belichick. You talk about Tom Brady.
Right.
You talk about anybody that's been like exceptionally good at something, like exceptionally good at it. They are obsessed with it because the fun is in the winning.
Absolutely.
And fun is in the winning. So I would say like, I don't know you well enough yet, but if you're not obsessed with the game and you are being coached by somebody that is obsessed with the game, that's not going to be a fun experience. So
I'm definitely obsessed. I'm very, very, very competitive. Like, I'm easily the most competitive person I know. Like, I think there's good and bad parts of that. 'Cause I'm very, very hard on myself. Like, if I miss something easy, my body language probably gets bad at times, but obviously it's something I'm trying to fix.
Absolutely.
I've been playing football since first grade. So like, it's kind of engraved in me. So I'm excited for this whole process and what it's going to be for the next couple of years. What's
it been like? I mean, because you came into a really unique situation, right? Like something that a lot of the country's been talking about. Like we got QB1 who's been playing, phenomenal. He's battled through injury. He's come back. He's played well on the road.
College football playoff.
He's continued to get better and better and better, right? And then you got the golden boy, like the one that like everybody's waiting to see it. Like, in speaking towards like being competitive, you chose to enter that room. So I would say, what's it been like in that room, in a very competitive room? What you picked up from them, and then like, what's the plan to compete there?
For me, I knew I wasn't ready to just go like start at some college. Like, that's just, I needed time to develop, and like, I'm not smart enough. I mean, I'm smart, but I'm not like,
you just had experience.
I don't have any experience. Like, I want to be able to sit for a bit and get muscle, lose weight, like better, like get really, really smart and get experience from guys who've done it. Whereas Quinn had a very, very good year last year. And obviously Arch has attacked this extremely well too. Like, it's nice having two guys that have done it for 3 and now a year. Yeah. And they're extremely knowledgeable and they help me with anything I need. And it's not like they're not trying to fight for a spot. They're really close best friends. And like, it's a cool room to be a part of. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons I chose that, because nowhere else I had an offer from had a QB room like they do. And I didn't, and I know I needed to kind of get used to everything and have a close-knit room that I could be a part of.
That's a really mature take.
Smart.
That is a smart, mature take, right? Like, most people, even though you know that that's the thing to do, it's hard to say, all right, I'm gonna go. Gonna go learn.
Or say I could go start at this other place, one of the smaller spots or something like that. But it shows a like that's wise beyond your years, man. Yeah. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Trey, I'm very curious too. Now, we talked a little bit about the transition and how big the playbook is, but let's talk about from the physical attribute standpoint, right? You probably didn't throw to receivers that look like the guys that you throwing to now. You probably didn't hand the rock off to guys that you handing the rock off to now. You probably wouldn't run away from DNs and linebackers the way that they run it now. So what has it been like transitioning to the speed of the game, and how has that affected you on your journey right now?
It was definitely a big change. Like, we got guys running 4.3s and 4.4s now. I didn't have people like that in high school. I mean, I had really, really good receivers. Don't get me wrong.
He's like, I don't want to make them guys mad. They were nice.
I don't throw for 3,000 yards without a good line, a good running back, and good receivers, and even a tight end. So, like, no knock on them, but it's just the guys are bigger and faster and stronger now. And I mean, I didn't even run in high school. I'm definitely not running now. So, I mean, I'm getting faster and stronger and just healthier, but the speed has definitely been a huge change. And like, there'll be balls that I throw that are behind them. I'm just like, okay, I got to throw it out farther because they can get there, whereas other guys couldn't. And I'm getting a lot better at it, but it's definitely been a huge change.
Yeah. Did you grow up playing other sports? I know just from watching your videos and watching highlights and stuff like that, you move pretty well for a big guy, but you're also way bigger than I think anyone.
Yeah, when I walked in,
6'5".
That was the first thing. Do me a favor, never stand really close. I always want to. I'm an adult man. I don't ever plan to do this.
Yeah, so, I understand.
Yeah.
But I mean, were there other sports like basketball or anything like that in your life?
Yeah, basketball. I played from 3rd grade to 8th grade.
Yeah, they pretty much make you if you were tall at that age. So
yeah, I have to. I enjoyed it. We had a good little squad with me for 4 years. Won the championship like 3 years in a row. And then middle school, our star player was ahead of me, so I rode that bench. But I mean, I was Mr. Fundamental. I set picks and boxed out. Like, we had our championship game, 7th grade.
Let's go, Timmy Duncan.
Yeah, I fouled out their star center on the other team.
Yeah,
I just like box him out. He'd jump over me and I'd fall. I'm like, hey man,
let's go, Timmy Duncan.
Play the game the right way.
Play the game the right way.
I had to do my part.
I love it.
And I had a good coach too. Like, in the tournament, we play a tournament, it was gold bracket or whatever, and we played a really good team. I played 2 minutes the whole game. He didn't care about like getting like complaints from the parents. But we won, so
I'm telling you, the fun is in the winning.
Yeah,
I gotta know. So we talked about like the difference on the field, right? From just the athletic standpoint and everything like that. We've even talked about the classroom, but like, what have the workouts been like? Like we're gonna be talking with Coach Becton soon, and like, what would he say he's seen from you? And then just like, what has it been like for you?
Did you lift weights in high school?
In these short time.
I mean, what I like, the lifts are more like personalized. For like quarterbacks, we don't do the same lifts. We don't go squat everything. Like it's more not easy. It's not easier. It's for different muscles.
Yeah,
because we don't want to get our shoulders so big we don't lose mobility and stuff. Right. But but they're running those. It's that's absurd.
What was that one workout? You know, because we were early enrollees. So we know what it's like when like you enter into like the workouts before a spring ball. So like, what was that one workout for you where you had that oh shit moment where you like, all right, this is different.
I mean, we had these things for team runs. We had 4 weeks on Tuesday and Thursdays, and we would go through, I think, 6 stations, and at the end we'd have conditioning. And we did repeat 10s, so we would go back and forth 10. Or we went, I think, 6 times, so we had like 4 to 6 of them. It doesn't sound as bad.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, and your legs just start to feel like just heavy weights, and it's just hard moving them. I'm out of breath, and then everyone goes so quick, and you're back up quick. It's just, man, I mean, gassers suck too, but I mean, you can kind of stride them out if you need to.
No, this one is like,
you don't got a chance.
Before you accelerate into it, it's over. And now you lining back down to do it again. Yeah.
Just breathing heavy.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That was that moment for you?
Yeah, no, those are terrible.
I'm telling you, don't get, well, Trey, I got some good news and some bad news.
It's going to get worse.
Okay, well,
He knows.
I got some good news and some bad. Good news is you've made it through.
Yeah, but
and the other news is summer's coming.
Summer's going to be worse than this winter for sure.
Hey, I'll tell you what, the best advice I have for you is just accept it.
Oh, I'm not.
The moment that you accept it doesn't hurt any less. But at least up here, it just doesn't.
The other thing was, and Jay can attest to this, we used to compete.
Absolutely.
Every single thing. It didn't matter how tired I was. It didn't matter how tired he was. Yeah. But I knew if he was lining up over there, I had to try to go beat him. And same way for him. He had to go try to beat me. And that iron sharpened irons, but at the same time, we got through it. We looked back. It was like, man, how did we even do that?
Yeah.
It was like, well, we kept pushing each other.
And I mean, and Fozzy was like a big brother to me at UT, honestly. And he would do a thing where, like, the accountability piece. And what I mean by that is, you know how it is, offense up or whoever's up, like, you can kind of spread out. There were some days where I was trying to come over here. And like Fozzy, as tired as we would be like, where Jay at? And come line down next to me.
Come on.
And so like what that did for me is I stopped staying up so late. I stopped going out. I know, because I know Fozzy gonna bring it the next morning. But at the same time, for me, when it was my turn and I thought I seen Fozzy a little tired, I'm like, what Foz at?
Same way.
And it's funny. I'm sure you've seen it to this point. The work, it doesn't hurt any less, but it becomes, you become obsessed with it. It becomes a little bit fun. And if you can find some fun in that, then you'll be all right.
I know it helps me out. That's why I'm not like, obviously I'm not going to go choose to do that. Like, I know the end outcome is what's right for me. So I'm just going to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Well, Trey, I saw, a lot of the Sark's press conferences have involved some bits and pieces about you. And I think you popped onto a lot of people's radars because of that. But I wanted to go into this quote that Sark said, and you kind of covered some of it already. He says, Trey's a natural passer. And it definitely shows in practice. He has the ability to pass the football. He can make all the throws. There's a lot coming at him right now after 4 practices and having all of the offense we put in. But he does not get rattled that way. If anything, he gets a little hard on himself. So tell us how your spring practices have been so far, like actually getting into it.
I just got to get more consistent. I've been pretty inconsistent so far. Like, I'll have a bad day, but then I'll have a good day, and then I'll bring it back with another bad day. I do get really hard on myself. Like, I was just like, why can't I just get it down this quick? But I mean, it's a process. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not made for this. I can't do this. But I just got to keep studying and get that playbook down. Because I mean, it's a tough task, but like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to do it.
Well, he said similar stuff about, I mean, you guys remember when Quinn was new, like it was the same thing, man. So I think it definitely is a progression. And I think, it's good that you're hard on yourself though, because that's what makes you better.
Even the greats, the cats that got their jerseys retired in the stadium, VY, he come in as a freshman. He had to ride the pine. He had to learn what it would take. Colt got to play as a redshirt freshman, but then redshirt sophomore year wasn't all peachy.
Oh, so no, not at all. I still, to this day, one of my favorite Colt McCoy stories is not even from Colt McCoy. Right. I will never forget. I forgot who we were playing, but Colt he wasn't having a great game. And I will never, I wish we could find this guy or the audio. Either would satisfy my soul, but there's a guy behind me, an older gentleman that was not happy with Colt's play. And I mean, he is screaming at the top of his lungs during a TV timeout. He's talking about John Childs. And he kept screaming, put the brother in. Put the brother in. And I was like, oh man, he doesn't want Colt out here right now. And then Colt goes on to, become Colt McCoy.
He did all right.
I had a little run in high school. We played North Shore, Oregon there. Butts handed to us, and some lady in the front rows over here like yelling at the head coach, and I'm sitting on the bench right here listening to it for a bit. I just go like, I starts jawing at him. Like,
Don't.
He's not doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like
lady, we went to practice.
Like,
we're trying. We are trying.
She's like, I'm not talking to you. He's like, well, it's bothering me.
Yeah.
I'm not in a great mood. Like, I'm not in a great mood. So come on. Like,
you got to just block it out. The only thing, like even us.
I do a good job of blocking everything out. Like, I'll hear stuff and I'm just like, whatever.
I can tell you.
Like that stuff. I was in the moment. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, every once in a while it'll get you.
Absolutely.
What are some of the greats that you looked up to? Right. It don't have to necessarily be a Texas great.
Yeah.
But like, who are you a student of the game of that you were impressed by or model your game after that you enjoy watching?
I'll stand by this till the day I die. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback of all time.
That's a hot take.
I saw this in a previous interview.
I think you can have a solid argument behind that.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you can have a solid argument behind that.
Just for me, his form is perfect, and no one can play footballs like he can. Like, you can make the argument for Mahomes, like throws the ball 75 yards. The guys throwing 4.2s.
Yeah,
he throws balls to Jordy Nelson.
Yeah. Hey, hold on though.
I'm not saying he's not good, but he can run a 4.3. He can't. I mean, Aaron Rodgers can throw 75.
Because I remember Jordy Nelson, college Jordy Nelson.
He was insane. Don't get me wrong.
I remember K-State, Jordy Nelson going this way, and I'm like, hey, don't our guys run fast?
Jordy Nelson was not slow.
Yeah.
No, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It doesn't like, I mean, listen. He had Randall Cobb in year 20 like LeBron out there catching touchdowns. So it's like, yeah.
He could just do it with anybody. I mean, his last year, we had a bunch of young guys, and then like Randall Cobb. I think Randall Cobb goes everywhere he goes. Like, he's on the Jets now.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's a little bit of nepotism there for sure.
Yeah.
Like Randall Cobb, like his daughter or his kids should be named after Aaron. Like, he's going to make sure that Randall Cobb keeps a job.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Packers fan, so I grew up watching them and just like how good he was.
How'd that happen?
My dad, it's funny, he grew up in Plano, but he fell in love with like Reggie White and Brett Favre and stuff, so he became a big fan, and then since birth, I was just a big fan with him.
So you had no choice. Go Pack, go, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
I respect that.
And I love it. There hasn't been many down years, so.
My uncle actually played with that group. My uncle is Santana Dotson.
Okay.
And he played with.
Was your uncle?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Wait, he's Baylor, right?
Yeah.
I remember watching him.
Baylor legend.
I remember watching him in college.
Look at that.
Right. Fifth Ward Nick.
Some grades here.
I don't know if we can keep calling him Fifth Ward Nick. Before we got on camera, we asked him, like, how do you get to Fifth Ward from Austin? And listen, we lucky we wasn't
3 months old.
He lucky we wasn't grading the test that day.
Right. Well, Trey, what do you like to do outside of football, man? What's fun for you?
I really enjoy hanging out with my friends a lot. Playing video games. I'm a big video game.
What'd you play?
Recently, I've gotten into soccer. I like FIFA.
That's a great game.
It's a good game.
I can't speak. I just bought a PlayStation the other day.
Oh, nice. Get ready for the NCAA football.
I'm just trying to figure out the buttons.
Just here. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a big partier, so like I don't really go out. Like, last Friday, I went and did my laundry. Like when everyone was going.
Was it a party at the laundry room?
No, it was not.
Just you.
Just you.
Go lay in my bed after. I just like to chill. I don't really do much, but video games, hang out with my friends. Eating, I like eating a lot, but I've had to cut that down since I've been here, so it's all good. But
how's the on-campus experience been so far?
It's been good. It's fun. Like people watch. There's a bunch of just different people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's Austin, but I'm embracing it. It's cool. I'm enjoying it. I was walking around with Arch to class one day, and it's just fun to see people like.
Gotta be a different experience.
You're just staring at him, man.
Yeah.
It's just a college kid. Like he just wants to be like everyone else. He's a very humble kid, and he just like wants to just be a kid. But obviously, kind of it sucks that he's seen as that guy. But he embraces it. He's a really good kid, and he's also been another guy that I've been able to kind of talk to and ask for help if I've needed anything and bounce stuff off of him. He's been real good help for me.
Yeah, it's better for him to be here too in a big city. Honestly, like could you imagine him in a small SEC town?
Yeah,
like that? Like he wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
No, absolutely.
Right.
Whereas Austin, you can get lost.
I'll be honest. Have you been to some of them towns?
Oh, I've been to most of them.
It's not even just the fact he wouldn't be going anywhere. It's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
it's one of 5 spots.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got the pub. It's probably just named the pub. You got the pub, the car dealership.
Downtown is one street.
Yeah. Don't go to those places. Absolutely.
He's going to get to go to those places this year.
That's true. That's true.
That's
Well, y'all got anything else?
I do have one question. When your time here is done, when let's just go in order. Like Quinn does his thing, he moves on. Right? Arch does his thing, he moves on, and then Trey's next. He does his thing. What kind of player do you want to be remembered? As when you're if I didn't say as a sentence.
I'll go back a little bit. I think I think the thing that sold me here was Bijan's last home game versus Baylor. Mm-hmm. And when they were on the goal line after he just had a big run, they were just chanting his name. I was like, it gave me like chills. Like I just want to be that guy. Like this is what's the kind of thing I want to leave. So like I just want to have a legacy. I want to set records. I want to win a national championship, SEC. I just want to be the guy that people remember here.
QB great.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
obviously I got a lot of guys.
You get one thing I do love about this place is what makes it the pressure to be great here is unlike a lot of places I've ever been to. But if you do it, I mean, you're cemented.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey man, good luck. I want to see you cement that legacy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you coming out, Trey, and we'd love to have you back later in the year and just catch up on things. So thanks again, man.
Sure. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Trey.